So assuming you're watching this video because you're relatively new to Xiaomi's HyperOS, so let's navigate it together. Okay, so I'm going to be using the new Xiaomi Redmi Note 15 Pro for navigating through HyperOS. Now, this isn't a setup video, I've already gone through that process, but once you've set up your phone and twiddle around with some of the icons, which I've just done here, it can be a bit overwhelming going through a new user interface or new UI for the first time. So I'm not the most familiar with HyperOS, which is why I thought I'd make this video. Now, the first thing I tend to do is jump into the settings menu. And right off the bat, this is a slightly different settings menu to what I'm typically used to. Now, if I take this on a 400 Pro and open the settings menu here, now naturally there are a few similarities, but the one thing that always throws me off is having the about phone and the update bits and bobs at the top there, whereas on the Honor and quite a few other phones like Motorola's and Pixels and Samsung's, etc., it's all here down the bottom. So that did throw me off a little bit. So let's go through and just go through a few bits. So you've got your about phone information if you really want to take a look at more of the specs, etc. So we're running the MediaTek Dimensity 7400 Ultra, 8 gigs of RAM plus 4 gigs of extension, yada, yada, yada. And then you've got Android 15 as well. So we're not the most up to date on here. And then when you come to doing a few other bits and bobs like setting up your Wi-Fi, your Bluetooth, etc., that's all very, very similar. And then of course you've got a few other bits like your lock screen information. So you've got things like raise to wake, sleep after a minute of inactivity, you can change that. And then you've got a few shortcut bits and bobs. And then launch the camera. So if you want a quick way to launch your camera, you can toggle that on. And then what does it say? Double press the volume down button to open the camera. Maybe I have to do it from here. Nope. It's not. Oh, idiot. From the lock screen, of course. So there we go. I mean, it's not the quickest way of doing it, but it's certainly an option. And then you've got your notifications and status bar, etc. Home screen information. So you've got an apps drawer, which you can tinker with a few bits and bobs like that as well. Animation speeds, swipe down on the home screen for app finder, etc. And then one of the ones I always go to quite early on is the home screen layout, and you can change the amount of icons and how they are spread out. I have it by 5:9 to get as many onto my home screen as possible. I'm not going to apply that for the moment. And then you've got system navigation. Now, if you find the gestures a little bit tricky, you can switch back to the buttons, and then that will give the button options on the bottom, which you can use instead. And that's sometimes a little bit easier, but because I'm so used to using gestures, I'm going to keep to that as well. And then it just gives you a few demos that you can go to if you want as well. So going back, swipe to there, going home, swipe up to hold, and then you can close all your apps, etc. And then when you come to display and brightness, you can tinker with a few bits and bobs on there as well. You can do dark mode, but if you go into there, you can have I think you can set it, there you go, sunrise to sunset, so it will automatically switch to dark mode, in this case 7 p.m, and then turn back onto light mode at 7 a.m, and then you can customize it to specific apps, but I will turn that off for the moment. Adaptive brightness, I always leave that on. You can play with the reading mode and the refresh rate as well. So at the moment it's set to default, which will dynamically switch between 60 and 120 Hertz, depending on what you're doing, but you can choose custom. You can flip it to 60 or up to 120 Hertz. Keep it on 60 if you want to save a little bit of power, but you shouldn't have that much of an issue on this phone anyway. And then you've got font bits and bobs as well. What's it asking me to do now? Oh, there we go. So you can pay for some, but there are some where I believe you can get a load for free. But yeah, you can just tinker with that a little bit as well. And usually, there we go, there's some already on the device, although there's only two. And then you can increase the size of the font as well. If you want it just a little bit bigger, if your eyesight is not quite the best, then you can tinker with that as well. And you can make it thicker and the opposite as well. So I will keep it in the middle. And then sound and vibration, etc. Now, personalization, this is some of the fun parts, I think, really customizing your phone. So up here, you've got your lock screen and wallpaper. Now you can customize that by changing wallpapers, and there's a few already on the phone. These ones are some of my favorites, and you've got a few here. Local photos of any that you have taken on the phone. I haven't used this phone a huge amount, so at the moment there's not a lot. And then, God, that was a bit unresponsive. Then you've got a few nature ones, gradients, system wallpapers, etc. And then you've got wallpaper effects, so you can blur the wallpaper. You can add lens effect, glass effect. So I'm not really a huge fan of that. So let's go back to the original. But if you go back onto, which one was it there? Matte effect, what does that do? That's quite cool. So yeah, there's a few ways that you can just tinker with it to really make it how you want it to look. And then you've got the font effects. You can change the colors, secondary colors. So top and bottom are different. So let's discard that. I'm not going to change that at the moment. And then you've got a few options here when it comes to changing it to something completely different, kind of a preset wallpaper, etc. There's another one there. So yeah, there's a few that you can choose from. You can really tinker with how you want it to look. An advert, which is unfortunate that it's on some of the Xiaomi and Poco phones, which to me is a little bit irritating, but there we go. Then of course you've got always on display options. So my current one is this one here, I believe. So if I turn that off, there we go. And then it will give you some notifications on the bottom there. Use the fingerprint scanner there. There you go. Battery and notifications, you can turn that on and off, and then you can change it to a few different ones that you might want to choose as well. We've been through the fonts, I won't go through that. Notification effects. So you've got a few options here. When the screen's off and you get a notification, I quite like this one, so I've kept it at that. Wallpaper carousel, and that is basically showing you a new wallpaper every time. There we go. So if you're quite happy to have that, I generally tend to have that off because I get annoyed by it personally. But of course, if you want to have that on, by all means. And then you can go on to here and download themes, which is a whole theme, I suppose is the word. So that includes the wallpapers, different icons, etc. There's loads of different ones that you can choose, and they're optimized for whatever wallpaper you're using. Another ad, go away, go away, leave. Okay, that is so frustrating. One of the reasons why I get a little bit frustrated with Xiaomi phones. And then you've got your usual Face ID, fingerprint lock, etc. So I've already set my screen lock, fingerprint lock. I haven't set up Face ID. And then you've got access to your Xiaomi account. I haven't signed into one. I don't even think I've got one, to be honest, but that's where you can have more access to more wallpapers, themes, fonts, etc. And then you've got privacy information and all of those bits there. Now, jumping into the personalization bits here, but you can also do it directly from your home screen by pressing and holding, and then you can jump to wallpaper, effects, widgets, and straight into your settings menu from there. So transition effects, you can just play with different ways to which the screen responds to, sliding from left to right, etc. Widgets, you've got a few different bits and bobs. So if you've got like a smartwatch connected and all those bits, you can have certain widgets that will give you the information on your smartwatch, like the battery percentage, etc. So this one's quite a good one because it gives you the phone's percentage, weather, how many steps you've done, the CPU performance. There's one there for your calendar. So if you're a really busy person, you've always got stuff going on, at a glance, you can see what events you've got coming up on your calendar. Just a bog standard weather one. So yeah, there's plenty of different ones on there as well. Jump into effects. That's just going back to the blur of the wallpaper bit, which I went through earlier, and then back jumping into wallpapers here. And then when you jump into your camera, this is very similar to what you'll find on other phones. So you've got photo, portrait mode, a pro mode. This is obviously on this phone. It's very similar on others. Video mode, topping out at 4K, and you can drop down to 720p if you want to. And Ultra HD photo, which will shoot a 200 megapixel photo. So if you really want that high resolution. And then you've got an arrow here to change a few other bits. So HDR is set to auto. That will just give you the best results when it comes to sort of lower light areas and brighter areas in one photo. It will better control those. The aspect ratio, you can change it. And then you've got a timer, watermark, and then jump into more settings here. So photo settings, video settings, and general. So if you go into photo, you can add your watermark, picture quality, main camera de-drop focal distance, a few options there. So that's just a quick look at HyperOS. It is very similar to other ones, but if you're a little bit unfamiliar, hopefully this has helped you a little bit navigate through customizations and all those bits as well. So if you enjoyed this video, definitely hit subscribe on the channel, and I'll hopefully see you in the next video.